All right, part 2 of the lesson here. Learning target. I can determine key features of a quadratic function. So we were just practicing graphing. So after you graph it, you're going to want to know these key features. We'll talk about what these key features are. So one of them is the axis of symmetry, which we talked about a little bit, but specifically it's x equals h. And this only works for vertex form. So we will look at these quadratics in standard form. So this x equals h, that's works out nicely for vertex form. But the h is the x value of the vertex there. All right, and then the turning point of the parabola is called the vertex. So the vertex is either the lowest or highest point of the graph, depending on how the parabola is opening. So if it's the lowest point, so if the graph is opening up, parabola opens up, it has a minimum, and that would be its lowest point. Okay, lowest point called the minimum. And then when the graph is opening down, it will have a highest point or a maximum. And these are given by terms of y. So axis of symmetry is x equals h, and then maximum and minimums are given by y equals k. Y equals k. All right. So what's our success criteria here? What are these key functions that we need to know how to find? Well, first you need to know the vertex. And that's your hk. And then you need to know the axis of symmetry. And that's your x equals h. And then you need to know your minimum. That's your lowest point. And that's given by y equals k. Or if the graph is opening down, you need to find the maximum. That's your highest point, given by y equals k. And then you need to find the domain. Those are your x values. Looking at the graph left to right, x values left to right. And then lastly, your range. And those are your y values, bottom to top. All right. So if we're looking at our parent function, here's our parent function graph for us here. Our axis of symmetry would be here at the point x equals 0. And then our vertex is right here at the point 0, 0. And then that's also the minimum. And that's at y equals 0. And what else? We need the domain. The negative infinity to infinity. Negative infinity to infinity. And then the range, 0 to infinity. Or I could say y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay. That would be for the parent function. Now let's look at a graph that is not the parent function, but it's a transformed parent function. So it says determine the key features of the quadratic function f of x equals 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 4. So we're looking at this equation, and it's already graphed for us, which is nice.